There is an update. 6 months later. As an update, I'm 21 now and he's 27. Been a while since I posted. Happened to come home for a week, reading week at university, and saw I was still logged into this throwaway. Figured an update might be good in case anyone was curious. So, unfortunately, I've cut my brother off from my life. Makes sense. Not completely, but that's more to avoid issues than anything else. I still occasionally respond to his texts like once every 2 weeks or so, but I've stopped talking and hanging out with him. It's just that a less dramatic cutting him off is more effective than a "we're done" talk and avoids many issues. He attempted to get into therapy again after I bargained with him, said I'd hang out with him a bit more if he did, but he quickly stopped going after saying that his therapy visits just made him feel worse. Later, he explained that he felt like the therapist was judging him by trying to find out why he wasn't having success with women. She probably was judging you, or they were judging you probably very hard.
She was trying to make you critically
think.
Yeah,
she was like, why do you think that women don't like to talk to you?
It's sad because you can be uncomfortable in two ways, like uncomfortable being in your own skin, or uncomfortable doing hard things, and you're choosing to be uncomfortable in your own skin, thus making everyone around you uncomfortable in their own skin.
He didn't quite tell me like that, but after filtering through his rants, that's basically what he said. He repeated things like, felt so judged. It made me feel like it was my fault. A lot. From what he said, it sounded like the therapist wasn't doing anything wrong, in my opinion. He continued to treat women poorly and, well, put it this way, he went back to college to join a bunch of clubs so he could hang out and meet new people. Couple days later, he mentions the girls were super superficial, and on the same breath starts talking about how attractive they were. Says he's just an emotional sponge to women, which he described to me as, well, just being a friend. Things like hanging out when a friend is down or buying them a soda when you feel like they had a tough day. The way he described it, it sounded like some kind of heck instead of, well, friendship. Because he doesn't know how to be friends with women. And he doesn't want that. He doesn't want any sort of friendship with women. So I come home 1 week. Parents' Place tournament was near home rather than university. Having just gotten a medal at aforementioned tournament. Woo! And with girlfriend and friends from the team. We are all in a good mood. I cook food and stuff. He goes to his room in a hurry, so I brought him some food. I cooked since I know he's awkward in front of new people, but might still be hungry. He kind of, not really intentionally, but sort of, made me drop the plate by getting on my face and rushing at me, if that makes sense. I was kind of scared. He went on a semi-incoherent rant about how people like him made him feel terrible. And seeing me with girlfriends, sports was the absolute worst thing for his self-esteem. How I was a terrible brother and things like that. He also called me a normie, which is a thing I wish no one not in high school said unironically. Overall, he was being very negative and, well, a knucklehead. So I was like, okay, and went downstairs to spend time with friends. Later, we went back to our university town. Sorry for being vague, just on the super unlikely case he's reading this since he's big on Reddit. Well, then again, guess he'd know from context anyway, so I guess I'm just being paranoid. And started having a party there. I say party, but come on, we're on the fencing team. We're the nerdiest of athletes. It was actually just friends hanging out with some girly drinks. I proudly love girly drinks. They're the best thing. They're just sweet drinks. There's no such thing as a girly drink. It's just a drink and it's sweet. Pizza, and One Punch Man. I'm having a blast and he calls, asking what I'm doing. And when I answered, he started crying and going on a rant about how it was unfair that people like me got to have that.
Bro,
you sound like
you gotta
a
go back to
nightmare.
therapy or something. I can't do this.
Be around you.
Can't do this.
I don't even know what people like me means. He's saying people that are nerdy also get to like have friends and have a relationship and stuff. And he's like, but I'm nerdy and I can't have that because he's unpleasant to be around.
Yeah, dude, I feel like, you know what the Chinese government does? If they find someone that's depressed, like a guy that's depressed, make him join the army, and then after like a couple of months, he gets a sense of purpose, and he like starts flourishing. He looks happy. He looks like he's like actually comfortable. This guy
he just needs to join the army.
Join the army or just have a sense of purpose, because this guy has no purpose except for looking at everything in a negative way. Whenever he was explaining his friends, he said, oh yeah, I feel like a punching bag because I buy them a soda if they're down, or just being there if they're in a bad mood.
I don't get anything in return.
It's transactional, and then also it's always bad. Friendships are always bad. It's weird. Weird.
But either way, he was having too much of an effect on my life, and my girlfriend got so sad worrying about me I figured that taking care of my brother wasn't selfless. Not now that I'm sharing my life with someone, been living with her for a year now, and dating her for over 2. I wanted to be a nice, loving brother and to care over his mental state over my own. But even if I wanted that, I can't possibly care for his mental state over my girlfriend's. And she got way too sad watching me. I had to be a little selfish. So yeah, nothing overly dramatic. Just kind of did some grown up and realized that nothing ever affects only me. Because I'm surrounded by wonderful friends and loved ones. So I put up a lot of distance between brother and I. And I've never been so happy. It hurts to distance myself from the brother I've always admired. Like when I was little, I wanted to be just like him, you know? But now, it is what it is. Looking back doesn't get me anywhere, right? Or how my coach puts it, looking back's literally against the rules, so don't do it. For some reason, thinking that always puts a smile on my face.